What's going on, everyone? Isaac from Limitless FC here to bring you the second episode of Half a Star to 5 Star. Now, last time we were able to secure 4 points, which means this episode we have an important game versus Sandeha. A win or a draw would send us through to the semifinals. However, a loss would see us in jeopardy of ending in third. As you can see on our screen here, we have received a transfer offer for Seamus Connolly. Barnet have offered £250,000 for our starting midfielder and captain. Now, I went ahead and went into the negotiation process just to see how much money I could get for Seamus Connolly. He is 29 years old, so I was thinking maybe we could sell him on, make a bit of money, and put that back into the team either this transfer window or the next transfer window. Again, our financial goal is to reach £880,000 by the end of the transfer window, so it is a difficult feat, but if we're able to sell some of these players on or win the invitational tournament, we should be able to hit our mark as for our financial goal. As you can see, I countered with a couple of offers. $350,000 was my first offer and £320,000 was my second offer, but they were not going to budge from their amount of £290,000. I went ahead and rejected the offer. That's not enough to see our center mid and captain leave the club at this time. I feel our goal at this time should be to win the invitational tournament. The funds generated by the tournament alone should be enough to see us meet the board expectation of £880,000 by the end of the transfer window. It should also be enough to bring in a scout or an extra player or two to help strengthen up the squad. Before we get into this game versus Sandeha, we received two transfer offers from Doncaster Rovers and Exeter City for Sean McConville. Now, for £250,000, this was not enough to see our starting left midfielder go. Just like the situation with Seamus Connolly, I decided to go ahead and reject these offers because I feel like we can win this invitational tournament and bring those funds in other ways. For this last group stage game versus Sandeha, we went ahead and made three key changes to the lineup. We brought in Wilkes off the bench to partner up with Key up top, and we brought in Brown to partner with Connolly in the midfield. We also brought in Richards Everton to replace Rawson just to see how these three do. They should be getting a lot of playing time within the League 2 season as we're going to have many games, so hopefully they can impress in their debuts. Early on, Stanley receives the first chance with a nice ball from Connolly to Key. Key's trying to skip past the defender, however, the defender commits the foul. Now, McConville's going to be stepping up for us to take this free kick, and if you haven't seen the last episode, you're going to want to pause the video right now, go back and watch that game versus Shamrock Rovers. He has a phenomenal free kick, and with this free kick in about the same area, he does an excellent job of keeping the ball in on frame. The Sandeha goalkeeper should have done better, however, parries it into his own net. And within 7 minutes of play, Stanley going to be going up 1-0 versus Sandeha in a must-win game in order to take first place in the group. We're absolutely ecstatic because we need to get a win in this game. We need the funds in order to meet our board expectations and strengthen up the side for the League 2 season. Now, as you can see there, Sean McConville with his second goal of the European Shield. Now I can see why clubs like Doncaster and Exeter City wanted to bring a player like Sean McConville into the team. Now the Reds are going to be getting the next chance of the game. Key plays a back pass to Brown, Brown into Connolly, and Connolly plays a great through ball to Wilkes. However, Wilkes cannot keep his head and ends up hitting the crossbar. He made a great run inside, and so far 17 minutes of play, he's actually been a great player. He's 18 years old and he is a loaned player. We're only going to be having him until January, but as you can see here, He makes good runs into space, Key playing a nice ball into Wilkes, and Wilkes gets a little bit lucky there. The ball taking a slight deflection off of the Sandeja defender, the goalkeeper already going one way, and Wilkes puts Stanley up 2-0 in this crucial group stage game. And as a manager, that is exactly what you want to see from the young striker coming in off of the bench. Now, I wish we could hang on to Wilkes for a little bit longer. However, we'll have to see what his price tag is at in January, because so far I've really liked him as a player and he pairs really well with Key. We end up getting one last chance here before the halftime break. A nice ball played into Wilkes, and Wilkes tries to attempt the shot, however gets brought down by the Sandeja defender. The referee gives him a warning, and McConville going to be stepping up to take this great free kick opportunity. And with the form he has been in the last couple games, I'm hoping that he can put this one away as well. He already has one against Sandeja, and so the wall moves forward, and the referee sees that as a penalty and a yellow card offense. Now, McConville doesn't do quite as good this attempt, and that is actually how the half would end. 2-0 for Accrington Stanley against Sandeja in this crucial group stage game. Now, after that first half, I was feeling really good about how the team was playing both offensively and defensively. Most notably, Wilkes and Brown coming in off of the bench, providing that energy. And up to this point, we had been playing really great defense. However, on this attack early on, Sandeja going to be working the ball into the box, and we end up conceding a penalty. And Richards Everton, the substitute defender, going to be going ahead and conceding the penalty for Sandeja. Now, up until this point, I had thought that we were going to have an easy ride out for the rest of the game. But now Sandeja with the penalty, a chance to cut the lead 2-1. And, well, Chapman, the number one goalkeeper for the team, keeping the clean sheet alive, going down to his left and making the save. The defense doesn't do a great job of clearing it out, but eventually clears the ball. And we end up getting one last chance here before the end of the game. A nice ball into Key over to Wilkes. Wilkes with a great turn and just about hits the ball off of the post, however puts it just wide. As I said before, Wilkes is one of those players who can turn a game around. Him and Key both are great strikers. Key a little bit more powerful and plays really good passing, and Wilkes makes great runs in off of the defense and opens up space. So he's going to be one of those players I'm really going to be looking for in January to help bring in and strengthen up the strike force. Obviously, we have him on a short-term loan until January, so hopefully either we can terminate that loan and buy him permanently right now, or wait until January to see what his price tag is and acquire him at that time. Now, as you can see here on your screen, I have the scores from the other games. Halmstad's BK ends up beating Shamrock Rovers 2-0, which means Halmstad's BK going to be making it into the semifinals. They end up on 4 points. However, they're ahead on goal differential, +1 goal differential, and Sandeja, unfortunately, with the loss to Accrington Stanley, goes out of the group stage in third. We're going to be playing Kristiansund in the semifinal game, and we will have that coming up shortly. However, let's take a quick look at how much money we end up getting there. Looks like £246,000, which will help go towards our objective. Now, going into the semifinal of the European Shield, I am feeling pretty good about where the team is at. obviously we have a few loan players that are going to be leaving us in January. However, I have a good feel of who I want to keep and who I want to sell on. I brought Wilkes in just to give us a little bit more of an attacking edge. Obviously, Key is going to be the target man, and Wilkes is going to be the one to get in behind. I also kept Nolan in the center mid spot along with Connolly, just because I feel like those two are better defensively. Obviously Brown is a center defensive mid, but he's a little bit more pacey. I'm hoping that he will be able to bring in the energy off of the bench to make the difference. So in this semifinal, Christensen going to be getting us underway playing in the white. However, we get the first chance of the game out here on the left-hand side. Key plays the back pass back to Nolan. Nolan plays the ball into Wilkes, and Wilkes with a nice ball into Key. However, Key does a great job with his touch and his finish. Plays the ball into the top right-hand corner of the net. Great finesse shot, and that's exactly what you get with Key. He's strong, he has a great touch, and his finishing is phenomenal. The replay will show you that he puts the ball right through the goalkeeper's legs, and the keeper with no chance on that. I feel like if we are able to keep Key in the club and somehow pick up Wilkes within this transfer window or the next transfer window, we should be arguably the top strike partnership in League Two. So with that goal from Key, that puts us 1-0 up after 31 minutes. And unfortunately, that's how the first half would end. There wasn't a whole lot of chances from either our side or the Christensen side, which was a little bit unfortunate, but let's hope for better here in the second half. Now, Accrington Stanley going to be getting us underway here with the first chance. Wilkes with a couple of fake shots cannot get the Christensen defenders to bite, plays a nice ball out to Clark, and Clark plays a good ball into Key. Key out to Connolly, and Connolly finds McConville on the left hand side. However, McConville with a poor shot, the keeper with an easy save. Now we are going full on attack here early on, and Wilkes gets a nice pass from Key. However, McDermott, the Christensen goalkeeper, doing a great job of keeping us out of the back of the net. The Christensen defense was a quality defense. I really had a hard time breaking them down, and they end up clearing that chance. Now, here in the 60th minute, we have the ball, and Wilkes plays a good ball into Key. Key over to Clark, and Clark fires that one right into the back of the net, puts us 2-0 up here in the 60th minute. Accrington Stanley, with the great build-up play, ends up finding Clark over on the right-hand side, and Clark with an excellent finish. We are 2-0 up. We can smell the cup final just around the corner. All we have to do is hang on for 30 more minutes, not concede, and hopefully get a third to seal this game shut. Now Clark, a little bit younger, going to be one of those key players for this upcoming season. Plays out on the right-hand side, but has a great attacking prowess. And Christensen going to be making an offensive substitution here, which should mean more holes in the defense. And in the 75th minute, we end up getting that opportunity. Good ball played into Key. Key with the dribbling run into the penalty area. And what a great save by McDermott. A powerful shot, parried away. And we were just all over the Christensen defense at that point. Nolan stealing the ball off of the defender, and Cooley taking down Nolan in the box. Cooley goes into the book with a yellow card, and we end up bringing on Brown. It was a little bit too late for Brown to get into the game. We had already won it at this point. Now, if we can put this penalty away, that should put us into the final of the European Shield. And Billy Key, going to be stepping up for us, runs up to the ball and slots it away, top left-hand corner. What a finish by Billy Key. great striker with his 4th goal in the European Shield. And at that point, I knew we were going to be into the final and hopefully be crowned European Shield champions and get the first bit of silverware into the club for the half a star to 5-star series. Now we make one substitute here at the end. However, it's not going to make much of a difference. We're just hoping to bring on some fresh legs to see out this clean sheet, and Christensen actually was determined not to give up. They get a chance here late on in the game, 86th minute. We're a little bit more defensive because they are so attacking. The ball comes off of the post and I'm spamming X to clear out this ball. However, our defense, what were they doing? He just falls over and Mendy puts in probably what is one of the easiest goals he has ever scored in his life. The ball takes a bad deflection off the post and falls to our defender. However, I'm spamming X and he is just not clearing the ball, and Mendy there on hand to slide in and put the ball away. Chapman had no chance. He was on the floor and had to get up in a hurry. I was a bit disappointed to give up the clean sheet. I really wanted to end that semifinal on a high note in win 3-0. However, it just wasn't meant to be. But I am actually really happy with our defense that game. They played really well as a unit. There wasn't a whole lot of chances that we allowed other than that chance. I felt like we should have maybe done a little bit better, but if that is going to be the case and we concede that kind of goal, that's something I can't be mad about. Now Billy Key with the brace ends up carrying us into the final. As you can see there, 3-1 over Christensen, and we will have the final coming up. That's not going to be on this episode. That will actually be on next episode. We're just going to take a quick look into who we are going to be facing in that final, and it looks like we will be facing Halmstad's BK in the final, who we drew with 1-1 in the first game. If you have watched the first episode, that was a really good game, very back and forth, kind of a midfield battle. However, I feel like that's a game that we should be able to win. But real quickly, before we end the episode, we're just going to take a look at some of these emails, and it looks like we have received an offer for Sean McConville. We rejected the other 2 offers from Doncaster and Exeter City, so we are going to end up rejecting this one as well. I feel like Sean McConville is a big part of our team and he really gets us going offensively, so I will block all future offers for Sean McConville. And as for the tournament prize money, we have received £334,000 for that, so we are well on our way to reaching our objective that the board set for us. But other than that, that will be the end of the episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe for more content, and we will see you guys next time.